No, because they'll be offering me 30 bells a turnip again. Instead of my daughter was over and we're live, by the way. Welcome to Omnibros Live. We're talking about Animal Crossing and the fact that the 1 week I forgot to buy turnips, my crickling nephews offered 477 bells a turnip, which is a lot, and I didn't have any turnips to sell. I just went in there and just to check on prices in general. And my daughter was over, and she's like, "What? 477? I could have come over and visited you." I even got Animal Crossing hat just now.
That's nice. You are into the hype, man. You are all bought in.
I love that game. I love it with my daughter. It's fun to play with her.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, it's super fun.
Yeah. I don't know that I'd play it if it wasn't for my daughter and goofing around with her on it so much.
Hey, we have somebody from Malaysia here today.
I saw that. I'm familiar with that name, so I know it's not his first time. Hello from Malaysia. Stay safe.
Hey, Joe.
Mohammed.
Hi, Joe Goose. Hi, everybody.
Thank you, Gary Sandberg. Unless you're saying you love Lou's just plain red shirt.
Huh.
Yes, I am. I saw the hat. It's called a dad's hat. So I said, oh, well, then I have to get it.
It fits you.
Here's a question already from Kenny Crayley. This is a good question. What Superman omnibus do you guys want DC to release next?
DC never gives us what we want.
No, there's hardly any Superman omnis. Well, I want the Bronze Age. I want early Bronze Age Superman is what I really, really want. That's what I want.
I mean, obvious answer, Burn. Everybody wants the Burn omnibus, but we're getting hardcovers. We were this close to the promised land, Jess. This close.
What if they did standard hardcover and then went omnibus for like books 2 and 3?
Oh my god!
And then went thick trade paperback for 4 and 5. Doesn't that sound like something DC might do?
Yeah, that does in fact sound like something they would do right
now. Let's see. Streakazoid would love a Jeff Johns Superman Omni.
Good choice. Very good choice.
I don't know that I've read any Jeff Johns Superman. Probably because is it collected in any form?
Not altogether. I mean, it's collected. There are a few trades and hardcovers that are spread out, but there's never been like a definitive.
I mean, I have the Secret. Is it Secret Identity or what's the? I have the Superman Secret Origin, but I don't have. I think that's like a separate thing. I don't think I have any Jeff Johns Superman. Joe Goose can't wait for the Tomasi Omni, the Superman Tomasi. Yeah, that's those are great books.
By the way, thanks to you guys, I've now bought into the hype, and I am reading TMNT. I'm gonna start.
Nice.
Yeah, I read the first hardcover years ago, so I just jumped and picked up the second volume digitally, and I'm just gonna keep going from there. But I'm gonna keep going with it. I've heard it gets better as it goes. So
it does. 5, 6, and 7 are awesome.
Good to know.
1 through 4 are interesting and fun and keep me engaged, but 5 is where it just gets really hot.
Okay, cool. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, Joe Goose says they have a bunch of hardcovers, Jess, of John's stuff. All right, I'll look into that. I probably have a bunch of them on my shelf, and I don't even know. But I don't think so. I haven't. John Superman. Is that? Wait, when did Jeff Johns write Superman?
Different chunks of time. He was off and on. As somebody in the chat mentioned it, John Superman is all over the. Mr. Awesome said it. John Superman is all over the place. He did fill-in after Loeb, then his first run leading to New Krypton, then his New 52 arc with John Romita Jr.
Okay.
Yeah, he's all over the place with that stuff.
Okay. I do remember his New 52 arc with JR.
Yeah.
I didn't I don't remember that I really enjoyed it, but that could have been because I run hot and cold with JR so much.
Mm-hmm. We should probably do a little housekeeping first, though. Just.
Oh yeah. First, we'll say happy birthday to Gabe Loves 90s Comics. That's why he's not on today. It's his birthday, so it's 9 a.m. there, and he's already drunk, celebrating his birthday. But the housekeeping Lou was talking about is, of course, now that we have enough people in the chat, talk about InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts add 2% to that. At the end of every month, which is going to be this week, they are kind enough to send us a gift card for $50 available for anybody around the world to win. And that will be, what's today, the 25th? So that will be Thursday's show. And I would say instead we'll have that be tomorrow, Monday's show. Because I think Monday's show gets a hell of a lot of people, and that would give more people a chance. I think that's the fair thing to do. Monday gets like almost 200 viewers, so. Sorry, I blanked out. I'm right in the middle of my freaking promotion. Order $50 or more worth of books in the United States, and you get free shipping. Fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com. Lots of happy birthdays to Gabe and Mr. Awesome. I'm sorry, that is an excellent idea, but I don't know how to do that. I'm running it today, and Gabe hasn't taught me how to make it fun like he does. And his thing, mine's boring. It's his thing to make it more interesting, and I don't actually want to steal that from him. I don't know how to bring in a Salma gif. I don't know. I really don't even know how to do that. Is there a place? How do you get a gif in? Let's see, brand. I could make the background of Salma if I can find a picture of her. No, I don't know. Banners. No, Gabe is just technologically way ahead of me. Campfire was lit. You should do the promo for Patreon, Jess. That is a good point, Martian Pilgrim. Thank you. Let's see.
Last night we had the campfire. For those of you that are part of the Patreon, and you can find that description down below in the link. For $5 a month, you get to hang out with us on one Saturday a month for a few hours, where we just kind of shoot the shit. And yesterday, Jess showed off the booby books, so it was a pretty fun time that we all had.
I showed off my whole collection.
Yes. So that's $5 a month. It gets you in on, and it basically what ends up happening is that we send a Zoom link or a StreamYard link, and we post it on Patreon around 8:00 Saturday night. So usually it's been a Saturday the last few times. Then you guys can come and join us. You could ask us whatever you want. It's just basically a hangout in a very chill, relaxed environment, and we just shoot the shit for about an hour and a half. How long did you guys go last night after I got off?
Just short of hour and a half, so just a little bit, like half an hour after you left.
Okay. So yeah, it's a good time. We had a great time last night. We had 11, 12 people on last night at one point?
Yeah, we had to transfer over to Zoom because we didn't have enough room in StreamYard.
And I think Gabe recorded the video, so that'll probably be posted up later today. So if he did, you'll have access to those those videos that were recorded while we did those live streams yesterday. It's a great time. It's really fun. I enjoyed it.
The patrons will have access to it, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you can see the book that I almost got busted for almost showing Emily's mom. I show that book, although I did not show that book on the Emily's mom episode. I was so oblivious, but everybody was yelling at me not to show it, and I wasn't even paying attention. I think that's what was funny.
Oh.
Just log into our Omnibros account. I am in the Omnibros account.
Oh, Gabe trying to give you tech support.
Yeah, I'm in the. I switched over to Omnibros on YouTube because I sent the wrong link at first. That was for my channel. So
it's okay.
I know it's Brandon Robinson. What do you guys think the likelihood is that we'll get a death metal Omni once the death metal run is over?
High.
I agree with that.
I think high. I think it'll be high. I mean, with DC, you never know because they'll put out the first hardcover of death metal. It'll cover like 30 issues or however many it is. Then the next will be a trade paperback, and then it'll be a pocket-sized Bible edition that you have to find placed on your shelf. So who knows what their publishing practices, but I think it's pretty high. Personally, I'm still surprised they haven't collected the rest of Snyder's run in absolutes or anything like that, because that just seems like that would print money if you put something like, oh, I don't know, Death in the Death of the Family, or his 0 year as an absolute. That just screams like it would be a good idea to print money, DC. I mean, you know, he's not as white hot as he was a few years ago, but Snyder's name still carries weight to it in the industry.
Yeah, and I think he's still well regarded at DC. That I'm surprised they haven't. That's why I didn't buy the Snyder Batman first omnibus, because I just felt almost positive they weren't going to follow it up. By now, we should have had volume 2, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
And it's still at number 1. And I mean, I don't even know if it's in stock anymore. That's I'd have to look to see if volume 1 by Snyder's is still in stock. So there's a lot of Snyder that should be. I personally like Batman and Robin Eternal more than Batman Eternal. And you could get that entire run in an Omni. I'd love that.
That's Tomasi, right?
Eternal? Gosh,
No.
I haven't read it in so long. I don't know. I thought it was Snyder, but maybe you're right.
No, Tomasi was writing Batman and Robin at that time, wasn't he?
I don't know. Let's see. Batman.
I'm sure somebody in the chat will.
Robin Eternal. Scott Snyder. I may just have to get the paperback. Let's see. It looks like there's only 2 paperbacks. Oh, Comics Guide's out.
Sorry about that. I had to take care of something for a second.
That's okay. It looks like it's Scott Snyder. But I don't know how many issues. I forget how many issues it went. The trades only collect through 26, and I can't remember. Volume 1 is still in stock. Okay, of Batman by thank you, Nelson. Batman by Snyder Omnibus is still in stock. Okay, good. How about, okay, Professor Flex says only 26 total. Okay, thank you. So I might as well get those trades. I'll see if IST has them, because I don't know if they're ever going to come out in Omnibus.
Who knows?
Yeah, and I really liked that run even more than Batman Eternal, which I liked, and I know some people did not like it, and that's fine, but I did.
I wanted to actually, I'm glad you brought that up, because I wanted to ask you something, and I was thinking about that this morning, because I was reading Rorschach #1 by Tom King.
How is that?
It's good. It's really good. It's not his best work, so far, but it's good. It's very good. It's got a good, interesting ending. I'm going to talk more about it tomorrow.
Okay.
And I was thinking about, do writers have a shelf life?
Oh.
And by that I mean, you look at guys like King and Snyder, who they're still putting out great books. Nothing against them. They are great writers in their own right. But do writers have a shelf life as far as being white hot when they first break into the industry? And does that tend to fizzle out with them as they stay longer? Because when you think about it, Grant Morrison, he's writing a Green Lantern book, a damn good Green Lantern book right now. Nothing surrounding it. No hype. Nobody's really talking about it. Tom King, a few years ago, Vision, Sheriff of Babylon, Mr. Miracle, all those fucking amazing titles, fantastic titles. And now there's almost no hype surrounding his Rorschach. What's the other one? Strange Adventures that he's doing.
Oh yeah, and Batman and Catwoman, or whatever it's called.
And Batman and Catwoman, and the Strange Adventures series is the Mr. Miracle team. It's him and Mitch Gerards. You would think there would be more buzz surrounding those books. Is there a shelf life for writers now, where us as a community kind of get tired of certain writers, or we get complacent with their style? Because right now, Donny Cates is arguably the it writer. He's arguably the guy that everybody's fawning over and stuff like that. But how long does that last? And I'm bringing this up because I think it was Donny Cates and Joe Quesada on a podcast that they were talking about, that they were even addressing it. They were saying, you're the it guy for only a limited time. And then you have to kind of keep creating content and keep yourself afloat. But eventually that it guy status, that'll fade.
You heard that on a podcast with Joe Quesada?
Yeah, but I don't remember if it was Joe Quesada and Donny Cates, or if I had just heard it, because I listen to so many damn podcasts, or if it was just something else. Do you think there might be a shelf life for writers for the spotlight?
I never thought of it until you just brought it up. That is a really interesting point. I've never thought about it. I always just think in my mind, if it's by a certain author and I really like him, like Tom Taylor right now, I feel like I can trust to whatever he writes, I can trust to be good so far. Tom Taylor, and what's that woman's name? From old that I like so much, Kelly Thompson.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like, but I never thought about. I mean, and of course, Donny Cates is. Is it currently like that because they get hyped on the internet and then people get tired of the hype?
Mm-hmm.
Or does their work suffer, or do they keep writing good stuff and we just stop paying attention because we're ready to move on to the next hot writer? Is that what you're saying, sort of?
That's exactly what I'm saying, or it could be even a combination of the two, because Tom King, let's use Tom King for example.
Okay.
Tom King, solid writer, nothing against him, wrote arguably some of the best comics in the last few years with Mr. Miracle, Vision, Sheriff of Babylon, incredible stories. Goes on to write Batman. Kind of flounders it for the general. I know you love the Batman run. I was kind of hot and cold with it. Kind of flounders it in a lot of people's eyes as far as Batman goes. He then goes on to do right now Strange Adventures, and he's doing Rorschach, but maybe it's just marketing or maybe it's just not there. I'm not hearing really anybody talking about Strange Adventures. I'm not hearing anybody talking about Rorschach, which Rorschach, arguably the most popular character in the DC in the Watchmen universe.
Yeah.
You know, where you've got guys that they've read Watchmen and they're like, "Oh, Rorschach is fucking cool, man. He's badass. I love Rorschach." And it's like, well, you kind of didn't understand the damn story, didn't you?
Don't forget this writer.
Actually, that's a very good example. That's another one. Obviously, I've never been a fan of her work. I personally don't think she's that great of a writer, but that's just me. DeConnick is another great example where DeConnick was writing that Captain Marvel run, and everybody was like, "Holy shit, she's writing the hell out of this Captain Marvel run. This is amazing. This is really good." And I read it and I was like, I don't see it. But that's neither here nor there. Have we heard much about her afterwards? She apparently wrote a great Aquaman run, which Geo loves, and I've heard that people that have read it have actually really enjoyed it. But it barely made a dent. It barely made a fizzle. I would think it barely made a fizzle. Is it a thing where we are fickle as fans, and then we're looking kind of for the next big hype writer? And then eventually, once we get it and they put out a whole bunch of amazing books, we're like, okay, well, what's next? What's the next guy?
Wow, that is a great question because I had never thought about it that way. Well, I'm thinking about it now, which is why there's so much dead air coming out of my mouth. I don't, because I'm just now thinking about it.
Yeah.
But you're right. But I also don't follow the singles market, so I don't know what gets hot and what gets a lot of promotion. And I mean, you and Ryley and Gabe when he worked at Torpedo and Omar all know singles much better than I do. So I can't really give an opinion, except that what you're saying makes a lot of sense in sort of this internet age where things are happening so fast. Buzz around a writer doesn't last as long. People get, you're saying people lock on to a guy and he can do no wrong for a while, and then they drop him and move on to the next guy and or girl.
Yeah, I mean, think about Frank Miller in the 70s and the 80s. Frank Miller in the 70s and 80s was the go-to guy for everybody. That is a hell of a long time to be the go-to guy. Nowadays, think about somebody like Tom King, where Tom King was the go-to guy for 2 years, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I agree that that's a good analogy because Frank Miller didn't. I don't think. I only think the first few things that he wrote really stood up, whereas I think Tom King's written a bunch of good things. But Frank Miller's been on the scene longer. But I don't feel like any of his latest output is from 2001 on has been any good. That is a really good question.
Yeah. I was just thinking about this the other day, and I was kind of wondering this morning, and it crossed my mind. And specifically, I was thinking about Tom King because I was reading this and I was like, "Well, this is really good," but nobody's talking about it, and it's kind of a shame. I mean, Tom King was on Seth Meyers. He was on late night TV shows promoting that Batman wedding issue, and I think part of what happened to King is that Batman wedding issue, for better or worse, I know there were people that enjoyed it, people that didn't enjoy it. I think that kind of took a little bit of wind out of his sails. And there are certain people that still have kind of fizzled out on him because of it.
That's what a lot of people in the chat are saying, including Gabe. I think I think in the I know you didn't like the wedding issue, but I think in the overall series it made sense to me. See, even Mr. Awesome is saying that. In the overall series context, it made sense to me, but as a single issue that I just read, I can see how people got alienated. But as part of the entire series, it I understood it and it made sense, and that's fine.
Now, and here's the interesting thing that I just kind of thought about. Is it a writer issue? Because Jim Lee could hop on a title right now, and that title is going to sell. Greg Capullo could hop on the title right now and draw the hell out of it, and it's going to sell.
So artists stay hot while writers don't?
Artists have a longer shelf life, and can they stay in the spotlight a lot more than the writer? Because Greg Capullo right now, a lot of people are talking about death metal, but I see more people are talking about the images in death metal of the Greg Capullo designs and stuff like that.
Oh, well, I haven't read death metal, but I'm certainly familiar with Capullo's art. Sean Murphy seems to be somebody whose art is hot.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Stegman, he's another one, but I don't know that he's been around as long as the Jim Lee and Greg Capullo example.
Samney's been around a long time.
Yeah, people still love his art.
Sean Phillips with Brubaker.
Yeah. I don't know. Brubaker seems to be, I feel like he's in a category on his own.
Oh, well, Brubaker, you just can't touch him. Brubaker is Brubaker. You're right. He's on his own. There's nobody else on that level right now writing crime books.
Yeah, he's found something he loves to do. People love to read, and he does it consistently well. And he hasn't really, to my knowledge, he hasn't had any flops. He comes out with these series, and everybody loves them. But they're his own creation too.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Velvet, even though that wasn't with Sean Phillips. I loved Velvet.
Yeah. It can be argued that even Brubaker's worst books are still better than probably 85% of what the rest of everybody else is putting out.
And independently, I don't think he has any bad books. And top big two, I've only read that horrible retcon that started off Deadly Genesis, and I don't blame him for that one at all. I think that was just yeah.
Deadly Genesis.
Pilgrim was bringing it up. Yeah. I don't. I feel like that was probably more editorial than Brubaker. I feel like Greg Rucka is just below Brubaker in that I will always gravitate towards liking Rucka's writing. But I don't know that he's ever been. Well, Lazarus has been awfully popular, and rightly so. But I don't know that he's been the it guy like Tom King or Scott Snyder.
Yeah, I would agree. Brubaker. Rucka's a fantastic writer, but I don't think he's ever been the it guy. But his output is fantastic. He's a great writer.
Yeah.
So is it just a matter of maybe marketing, or just certain things hit with fans that other things don't?
Well, not being in the singles buying market, I don't know how.
Yeah.
How do things get marketed now? I mean, I just count on people's opinions really in my circle of internet friends as to what's good, and then I also count on knowing the writer that I want to follow. But how do things get marketed for singles? Like, how is Rorschach getting marketed? or is it buzz that LCSs can create? Is it buzz that just naturally occurs on the internet?
Well, a great example, Fraction. Matt Fraction was white hot for a little bit with that Hawkeye run. He had Sex Criminals for a bit. And now I have no clue how they're paying the bills in the Fraction household if the comic isn't working, because I don't know if whatever's Fraction writing right now.
Well, I know they're finishing up. I know they're finishing up Sex Criminals, but you know who else is hot is Zdarsky. He's considered really hot right now on his Daredevil run.
His Daredevil run's fantastic,
and that Spider-Man life story was incredible. But I don't know. That is interesting. I hadn't really thought about that. But you're right. The Strange Adventures seems to have fallen off the radar.
Mm-hmm. And that's the Mr. Miracle team. That should be a book that DC should be pushing. Like, oh, this is the creative team behind Mr. Miracle, the team that won a bunch of Eisners, that was critically acclaimed. I don't even know when the fucking issues come out.
I don't either. Gabe is in the chat. He would know better than I would on how things get marketed, as far as just in general, online and in a comic book store. So I'd be interested in his take, because I had never thought about this, but you're right. Like Strange Adventures, I haven't heard a thing about, but I'm a trade waiter, so it's going to be 2 years before I get Rorschach or Strange Adventures, since I wait for them to be collected.
Mm-hmm.
Anything Jeff Johns writes is always going to be special.
True.
Oh, this is a good one. Sterling Gates from Kenny also. Kenny, Sterling Gates did write a good Supergirl. I agree with that. I don't know that I read a lot of his Superman, but I read his Supergirl. Joe Goose says, I agree that artists have a longer shelf life, but some do fall fast. Steve McNiven was hot during Civil War, and I don't know what he has done since.
True. Who did the X-Men with Whedon? What was his name? X-Men with Whedon.
Cassidy?
Cassidy.
Cassidy?
Yeah. Cassidy, yeah. God, that was a beautiful run.
Yeah. This is an interesting point from Hayden. I think the spotty release schedules and delays for books because of COVID hasn't helped with marketing. Like Palmiotti and Connor's new Harley would be overhyped if it wasn't one issue every few months.
I didn't even know they were writing a new one.
A new Harley?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's an oversized for Black Label.
Oh, God.
But it's good.
Oh, thank you. Because the Black Label...
Don't worry, it's good.
Because I see the Black Label logo automatically on books now, and I'm just like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, but it's... I don't know why they would put Harley... Well, I guess maybe it's a little sort of raw-er Harley. I got a single that was commissioned, that has a little commission in the middle circle from Amanda Connor, but I haven't read it yet, so I probably should. But I've heard lots of really good things about it. BKV is always great.
Vaughn, right? Vaughn hasn't written... Vaughn's just chilling. I don't think Vaughn's really done anything in the last few years. We're still waiting on the other half of Saga, damn it.
He wrote, I think, The Barrier. Wasn't that him? Those comic books that are in landscape form that I hated, except I liked reading them, except I hated storing them. The Private Eye is one of the greatest books I hate reading because it's so annoying in that landscape format. I love The Private Eye, and it is so hard to read.
Did you guys do DCBS pre-orders last week?
I think Gabe. Oh gosh, now I can't remember. DCBS pre-order list is going to be. I mean, you can just go to DCBS and find it. I think we were trying to teach people how to pre-order last Sunday. So yeah, you can just go to DCBS because I think, what is today, the 25th? I don't know when the cutoff is, but it's been the same for the whole month. Oh, here's a good question. Oh yeah, here's a name. I know. That is somebody I used to buy everything of, but I don't even know that he's going to get anything published anymore.
I think he will. I think give it a few years. He'll come back. But I'm a person that I'm able to separate the work from the controversy, and say what you want about Ellis, but goddamn, has he written some amazing fucking stuff.
Well, I don't disagree with about writing amazing stuff, but he's a guy I can't review anymore, or Brian Wood.
His record's tarnished. Unfortunately, his record is tarnished.
Yeah. Will there be a CB 4K fundraiser in Bet this year? I'm not sure that we can top last year's, and we still haven't read Batman Damned yet. So,
well, it's the combination. I think it's the combination of us haven't done Damned yet, and that's on us because we just can't get the schedules to line up for that. And on top of that, you know, it's a coronavirus year, and people are looking out for money. You know, things are tight and stuff like that. So. I don't know. I think it's a mixture of a bunch of different things. I don't think there will be one this year, unfortunately.
Here's Gabe's. Marketing from the publishers are focused on the #1 issue, then nothing until the series is over. Mr. Miracle #1 got a lot of marketing and then nothing until it was over. That's interesting. It sure was hot when it came out in collected form, but I don't know anything about what it was like in singles. Did you read it in singles?
I did. I thought it did well in singles. There was enough buzz going around for people to continue reading it and stick with it for all. I think that was 10 issues. I think that's how much that was.
I have it somewhere in this stack of stuff that I just. I did upgrade to the oversized hardcover, which I said I would not do, and of course I did.
I'm waiting for the absolute for that.
I would agree with that. That is some artwork that could use an absolute. Mm-hmm. I think it's great.
Mm-hmm. An absolute Mr. Miracle will be fantastic.
Okay, at DCBS, Bruce says ads only, no subtractions until end of month. And we have somebody from Germany. Oh, Multiversity. I don't think I knew you were from Germany. Good to see you. Oh, the FOC was 10/21/20 at DCBS. With Ellis, was anything for sure? Yeah, he sort of came out, and I don't mean sort of. He came out and said everything that he had done.
Yeah. I think he flat out came out and admitted everything that happened.
Yeah.
And apologized.
Right. Yeah.
Unfortunately, that means we won't get another season of Castlevania. Damn it.
That's such a good show.
Such an amazing show. He was the sole writer on that show, and I don't think we're going to get another season now because of it.
I love that show.
Great show.
Thank you, Noir Wolf. I appreciate it. I love this shirt. Gem among gems. I will print that comment out.
I really think they could have done another season of Castlevania with him. I'm just saying. I think they could have. I really think if it just came out, apologize. All right, he's still writing it. Okay. But we live in an age where the internet blows everything to a massive proportion. So, apparently he's not going to work anywhere anymore. It's a shame.
I don't know. We tried to get him. It's funny. Taylor and I tried to interview him, and he was nice enough to write back. This was, I don't know, February, maybe the beginning of the coronavirus. And he said, I'd love to do it, but I have a terrible internet connection where I am, wherever he lives, like in Scotland or England or someplace. He's out in the middle of nowhere. And he said, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do a video with my poor internet.
You were this close to getting Warren Ellis on, man.
I know. Taylor does a good job just going out and asking people. I have to hand it to him.
He's a bloodhound for that stuff. He
really does.
He gets a lot of good interviews for you guys.
Jess, what are you getting this Tuesday, Wednesday? That is a good question. Where is the usually I have the IST releases form right on my desktop, and I'm not seeing it. There's a lot of big stuff coming out this week, though, which we will find out tomorrow night at 8 p.m. on Omnibros. Oh, and here's another gem among gems. Taylor is a gem among gems.
That's true.
He is a good guy. Okay, Infinity Gauntlet. Oh, and both Swamp Things are coming out. A reissue of Volume 1 and then Volume 2 of Swamp Thing. I'm not getting either of those.
Swamp Thing Volume 2 is not coming out.
IST list for the week. Actually, wait. Maybe I have it on my... There it is. IST releases.
Peter David Hulk Volume 2.
Absolute Swamp Thing 1 and 2. I'm just thinking of I'm not buying any Cerebus. Dark Shadows. Dawn of X trade paperback Volume 9 I'll get, because I am going to read those. Dying is Easy hardcover. I don't know what that is. Oh, Exorcisters. That is an excellent book. I hoopla that. I think I'll probably hoopla that again. Epic collection of Fantastic Four, War with Atlantis. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, 1028. Wait, that is coming up. Giant Days number 14. I feel like I already ordered that. Huh. Okay. Incredible Hulk. Oh, Incredible Hulk by Peter David.
Volume 2.
Volume 2. Infinity Gauntlet. 2 versions of that.
Do we need another version of the Infinity Gauntlet?
People want that book.
I know Gabe is in the chat, so he's probably going to say yes.
That thing, yeah, people want that, love that book.
The Infinity Gauntlet is Marvel's Watchmen, where they will just keep publishing that in different versions.
Let's see what else. I think that's it. Let's see. Well, I'm going to get the James Bond 007 hardcover Volume 2. Dynamite has been killing it with the James Bond books. They're so good. Oh, Nailbiter Volume 7. Nailbiter Returns.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Marvel Masterworks Defenders. of course, I'm I'm taking away viewers from tomorrow night by telling them everything that we want. She-Hulk by Dan Slott Omnibus. Well, this is a killer week.
This is an expensive week for you guys.
Yes, it is.
Have fun, guys.
Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen. I will be getting that. That's by Matt Fraction.
Yeah.
And I think that did well.
Yeah.
I want to get that. And I want the Lois Lane by Greg Rucka. I know that's supposed to be good.
That book is also known as Help, Matt. We need to pay the water bill. I kid.
No, you don't. So I actually I believe I've pre-ordered everything I want, which is Incredible Hulk. And I know I pre-ordered She-Hulk with that $40 glitch at Barnes & Noble.
Wait, I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, and then Amazon matched it, and some other places matched it too.
Wow.
It was on the Omnibus collectors page. Actually, it was $39. And so other places matched it, including Amazon. Yeah.
Wow. Damn.
Gabe is correct in this. Pre-ordering 3 days before release is not a pre-order. Right. I just saw that they're going to do this Untold Tales of Spider-Man, which is amazing because that book sat around forever.
That was in the bargain bin at one point, wasn't it?
Totally. I haven't read it, but I understand it's a great book with great stories. It's Kurt Busiek, who's still, I love all his writing, so I imagine it's great. But wow, that was I would go so far as to say that was almost an unwanted book. Nobody was interested in that. It goes out of print, and now everybody wants it.
Professor Flex saying, I think the days of bargain bin omnis are over. Huh.
I guess we'll see.
Have they had a blowout sale in the last year or two?
Since COVID started, they haven't needed to.
Yeah, because remember, it was like once a year they would get a bunch of the omnis that didn't sell, and they'd jack the price down to like $20-$30 for a lot of them.
Well, I'm seeing a lot of people post pictures of their purchases at Ollie's, and that's where the bargain stuff is going from Marvel, like the first issues of Marvel Now, or first issues of DC Rebirth, those kinds of collections. That's what a lot of people are buying at Ollie's.
Huh.
Yeah, I have also pre-ordered X of Swords hardcover. That's something I pre-ordered. And I write everything down. We all know my memory for that stuff sucks. So yeah, it's going to be a big week.
I didn't realize it was going to be this big of a week.
As I kept going down the list, it was getting bigger and bigger. There's like the two absolutes, and then I think it sounded like 5 omnis from Marvel. Something ridiculous. Let's see how many.
You know what it probably is? They're probably trying to get them all in before the holiday rush.
The publishers?
Yeah.
I don't even have a theory on that.
It could be they're trying to get them in before all the holiday rush, man. Next month is also a big month in terms of electronics that's coming out.
Oh, is next month when PS5 goes out?
The PS5, the new Xbox, whole shit ton of games come out. Maybe they're just trying to get ahead of all that. Just crazy theories. Throwing it out there.
Come here for your crazy conspiracy theories.
Could be. You never know.
Where they start? They have to start someplace.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, House of Whispers. I'll get that. I like that. That's a Sandman universe book. Okay, where is Infinity Gauntlet, Incredible Hulk, She-Hulk. And the two absolutes.
Damn.
I feel like I'm missing a
fraction.
Well, no, I was just counting the Omnis that are coming out.
Okay.
I only count 3, but I felt like there was 4, but maybe I'm wrong. 3 Omnis and the 2 Swamp Thing absolutes. Okay. Yeah. Oh, and then Nailbiter. That's interesting. That was a good book. I like that book. It made me ill. It was too realistic.
They're saying Lucifer?
Is Lucifer coming out? I don't see it on IST's list, but that doesn't mean...
Lunar, maybe?
Yeah, that could be on Lunar's list. We'll find out tomorrow. Yeah, Lucifer is something I pre-ordered and then it got canceled, but then the pre-order stayed, so I think it's still going to be there. Okay.
I'm looking forward to the third Swamp Thing Absolute being a nice little collected trade paperback, by the way. They do it too. They would totally do it.
Yeah, that's what Professor Flex is saying. That'd be awful. Even if you don't like the colors. I mean, I'm keeping my hardcovers just because I don't feel like I need to upgrade, but
I hate the new coloring. I do not like it.
It's pretty radical. I can see why people don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like the new coloring, man. I'm one of those.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like if I was still collecting, like hardcore collecting, I don't think I'd be in the same boat as you. I probably wouldn't upgrade for my hardcovers.
Yeah, they feel more. Well, they feel more like the real deal than a recolored one. But it's. I did do side-by-side comparison on the first one, and I can see why some people might like the recolors, because some of the original colors in some of the scenes did seem muddied, and it does clear it up a lot. But it's just not my thing.
Yeah. You can do it. For me, there's a right way and a wrong way to kind of do the recoloring stuff. Obviously, the Neil Adams stuff, I don't care for the recoloring.
That is ridiculous, of course.
That's horrible. It's terrible. The Swamp Thing, I don't care for it, but I like the Walter Simonson Omnibus and the recoloring that they did there. I thought they did a good job with it.
Yeah, I think you're right. And is Marvel recoloring Conan? What was the book that Dark Horse did such a bad job recoloring, and then Marvel took over the property and like took it back to its natural colors? Was that Conan?
I don't know. You got me on that one. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Multiversity. It's a personal thing. If you like it, that's great. We're not hating on it at all. It's just not for us on certain books.
Mm. What I'm trying to say is you have bad taste and you should feel bad. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding with you. I'm joking. In fact, you should burn your collection.
Shoot, I can't. I feel like there was something that people were really upset about the coloring on Dark Horse, and then it got taken back to its old colors by Marvel.
Mm.
I feel like it was Conan.
That would make sense if it was. I'm sure
Multiversity loves you.
Oh, I got nothing but love for him. They should have released an omnibus with the OG coloring. If we're talking about something involving Marvel and omnibuses, you need to email Omar with all your concerns and questions, and I'm sure he will happily oblige them to. But you need to spam. I'm telling you, you need to spam his inbox.
He loves fan mail.
He loves fan mail, and he loves it when you spam his inbox with the same question 30 times.
Okay, it was Conan by Barry Windsor Smith. Okay, thank you. I thought that was it.
Okay, that makes sense.
I think the answer would N-Man 40 saying, would someone seeing the Swamp Thing material for the first time be turned off? I don't think so. I think you'd be fine with it. You totally need to read it for the story, and the art is what the art is. And if it's your first time looking at it, I think you'll be fine. I've just lived with this particular art and coloring for, I don't know, 1984 or whenever it was written, 1982, it seems like. So I'm just used to it.
And my first reading of that was through the hardcovers, so I had the OG coloring. So
yeah,
I'm partial to that. I'm just biased to that. Plus, I'm a sucker for that old school coloring and that old school paper that those hardcovers are collected in. It just feels really good.
Yeah, but I urge you, N-Man 40, to get the Swamp Thing Absolutes. If that's how you want to read them. If I don't know if you can still get the trade paperbacks or not, or because I know the hardcovers are hard to get. But you need Swamp Thing in some kind of form.
Yeah, because you really do owe it to yourself to at least read that story. It's Alan Moore. It's the height of Alan Moore. Just great storytelling.
Yeah, and he totally turned Swamp Thing around.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Cameron. I appreciate that.
We also get our first introduction to John Constantine
in issue 37.
Yes, we do.
Oh yeah, Swamp Thing's mossy cover is all the reason you need to buy it. And it's true, they're putting out textured covers on those absolutes. That is cool.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Cool.
It doesn't feel, it's not like moss, but it's textured and stuff and looks really cool.
When you open it, does it smell like swamp gas?
Yeah. Swamp water just spills out of it. Yeah. So Eric, who you told to write Omar a lot, says, got it. Thanks for the advice.
There you go. It's even better if you spam him through Facebook. I'm just telling you right
now. That's right. It's flocked like Jess's favorite pops. The absolutes are. Was Swamp Thing recolored by the original artist? I don't think so.
I want to say no.
I actually don't know the answer to that. I want to say no, but I don't know. Can we talk about how small the text is on the spine of recent Marvel OHCs? It's tiny.
I don't know anything about that.
I had a huge stack. Let's see. Oh, well, the Immortal Hulk is big, but I see what you're saying about like Doctor Strange and Moon Knight and stuff. It seems to be okay.
You want to tell them one more time about our sponsor, Jess?
Sure.
Our mark?
Yeah. InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts add 2% to that. Tomorrow night, we'll be giving away a gift card for $50. And if you're around the world, you can participate. Anywhere around the world can participate in the contest for the $50 gift card giveaway. If you order $50 or more worth of books in the United States, it's free shipping. And fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com. So, you ready to wrap it up?
I think so. We're at the hour mark. I've got a lot of stuff to take care of today.
Well, thank you to the chat. There was a lot of good questions. We talked about a lot of interesting things, and Lou brought up a really good topic of conversation with the heat that certain writers get and lose.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, here's a quick question for you. Do you know a good place to buy digital comics in Spanish?
I don't, man. I wish I could help you out. I really don't, though. Is there a way to change the language on Comixology's website? And maybe if you change it, the actual language, just going crazy thought. Maybe if you change the actual language or the location on Comixology's website, maybe you'll be fortunate enough and it could change the dialogue bubbles, maybe? Just a thought. I don't know. Because if you do, so for example, if you go to Amazon.com and if you change the location, you could change it to Spain or you could change it to Japanese or something like that in the settings. And that changes everything. So maybe Comixology has something like that. I don't know, man. That's a good question. I don't know. I never thought about that.
Okay. Well, okay. Thank you to the chat, and thank you to my co-host Lou for being here, so that we had a show. Otherwise, we were not going to have a show. So I'm glad you showed up.
Thank you.
Thank you to In Stock Trades, our fabulous sponsor, whom we definitely appreciate. And thank you to the people watching this afterwards. We appreciate your watching this too. And be sure and tune in tomorrow night to Omnibros Live, 8 o'clock, for Hall's previews and reads and the IST gift card giveaway. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Good night, everybody.